If you're a creator looking for a wireless lavalier microphone, you're currently in an awesome era. We've gotten some amazing new options lately, and this guy that I'm reviewing today just might be an industry leader for phone creators. Say hello to the Godox Cube S. For the disclaimer, Godox did send me the Cube S for the purpose of this review, but no money changed hands and I have absolutely no obligation to say anything in particular. Godox does not get to see this video or have any input before it's posted, so everything I say is my 100% honest opinion. And unless I note differently on the screen, all the audio you hear in this video is from the Cube S. I am going to do some comparisons a little bit later with the Hollyland Lark M2, which is probably the Cube S's biggest competitor. You may have noticed I said the Cube S might be an industry leader for phone creators, and that's because the Cube S was made specifically for phones and not for mirrorless cameras. Now the Cube S comes in two styles. One is USB-C and the other is Lightning, and you can get it in one mic or two mic configurations. They actually call the USB-C version the Cube SC and the Lightning version is the Cube SL. Clever. And sticking with the theme of twos, we have two truths when looking at the Cube S as two mirrorless cameras. One is the Cube S does not have a 3.5mm attachment, and two is that mirrorless cameras don't have USB-C or Lightning audio inputs, at least as of today. So if you're specifically looking for a mic for your mirrorless camera, this probably isn't it. Now that said, I'm actually using the Cube S right now and recording this video on a Sony FX30 mirrorless camera, but I'm actually recording this audio on my phone and then just selecting that as the audio input in post. With your Cube S, you get quite possibly the world's most adorable charging case, which houses both transmitters and your receiver. The case is super small and light, and it's actually spring-loaded to get the equipment out. Just push on the side, and there it is for you to grab. The whole case charges via USB-C, and Godox says the transmitters have 10 hours of battery life, with the charging case holding enough juice for 2 additional charges. I do note that it's kind of frustrating to plug in the case as I somehow always activate the spring-loaded ejector, which I don't really love. The Cube S transmitters come with super strong magnet backs that will stick through your shirt, and I do love that the magnets stay on the transmitters while they're in the charging case. For alternative mounting options, Godox does provide magnet clips if you want to clip it on, as well as magnet necklaces if you want to just wear it that way. Now also in the kit is a USB-C to USB-A cable, as well as some free windscreens you can use when you're outside. Godox touts that the Cube S has a range of up to 300 meters or 1,000 feet. I'm not going to measure it off and test whether that's precisely accurate, but do keep in mind with these types of systems, the range is line of sight. Now that means if you have your back turned or if there's a wall or some other barrier in between you and the receiver, it'll stop working pretty quickly. The bigger takeaway here, in my opinion, is that you can rely on being able to get any reasonable distance away from the receiver and know you're getting good audio. Just know to keep an unobstructed path from the mic to the receiver. And for the last two items on the spec sheet, the Cube S transmitters work with Apple's Find My app if you happen to lose one. I'm not aware of any other wireless mic being able to do that. And finally, it's worth pointing out that the Cube S does not have internal recording in the mics like some other wireless systems, although those that do have internal recording are always bigger and more expensive. Using the Cube S probably couldn't be more simple. Just plug the receiver into your phone, pull out a mic, or two if you need to, and they automatically pair. Then just stick the mic on your shirt and it's your audio source in whatever app you have an audio input for. There's an app that you can use to control the gain from 1 to 6 with the default at level 4. For my use, higher than level 4 is too high and level 3 suits me just fine. The app isn't required, but it can be helpful if you want to dial things in. And although this is a phone-first microphone, you can use the Cube S with other devices that accept a USB-C input, or Lightning if that's the one you picked. It works great with the super popular DJI Osmo Pocket 3, again, just plug and play. I also discovered it does work with a computer by just plugging the receiver into the USB-C port, and it's automatically listed as Cube SC on your list of audio input choices. The caveat here is I'm not a way to adjust the gain on the computer, and the default gain is pretty low. I did a QuickTime recording using the Cube S as the audio input, and I actually had to add 12 dB of gain in Final Cut to get it to the right level. You'll see that the transmitters have one orange button button on them, and that button is actually multifunctional. Double-clicking the button triggers the record button in your phone's camera app or the photo shutter button if you're in photo mode. Single pressing the button activates noise reduction mode, and then the light on the transmitter changes from green to orange to let you know you're in noise reduction mode. Now, I really don't recommend using noise reduction modes on wireless mics like this if you can avoid it. Although it will block out some noise, it'll actually change your voice fairly substantially. My rule of thumb is that if you know you're going to be putting the footage through an editing software, just use the software's noise reduction or voice isolation features and you'll be better off. I would only use the built-in noise reduction in a situation where you're in a noisy environment and you know you're going to post the video straight from your phone. Here's a quick in-studio test of the noise reduction feature. I have some music playing through my computer speakers and I have a fan going right behind me in the background. I'll hit the orange button now. So now I'm in noise cancellation mode. How does this sound? Do you think my voice is any different? Is this something you would use? Let me know in the comments. I do want to take a look at a head-to-head comparison between the Cube S and the very popular Hollyland Lark M2. And to be fair, I'll only be comparing the Lark M2 in its USB-C configuration. The Lark M2 does have a separate receiver to work with a mirrorless camera, but that would be comparing the apples to oranges for these purposes. Starting with size of the transmitters, they're nearly identically sized, and on my scale, they both weigh in at 9 grams. The magnet backs are identical, and the same with the magnet clips and the magnet necklaces. So strictly from a size and usability standpoint, neither has an advantage there. Now after size, let's talk about sound quality. I have them both on my shirt. I'll say a couple sentences and play the same clip back twice so we can hear the audio from both microphones. This is a comparison between the Godox Cube S and the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless microphone systems. Which do you think sounds best? This is a comparison between the Godox Cube S and the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless microphone systems. Which do you think sounds best? I'll leave the answer to whether you found a meaningful difference between the two microphones up to you, as audio is a bit of a subjective area, but I do definitely think they're both super high quality and would serve any creator well. The last factor to talk about between the Cube S and the Lark M2 is price. At the time of filming this video, the Cube S has a regular price of $129 for the USB-C version, and the Lark M2's regular price is $113 for the USB-C version. That said, I'm filming this video during holiday season, and right now they're actually $93 and $91 respectively, so even with price, they're practically identical. So if you're a phone-first creator, I highly recommend giving the Cube S a very serious look. It's small, lightweight, compact, super easy to use, and maybe best of all, it sounds great. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments and consider subscribing for more videos like this. And you can click here for more videos to help on your content creation journey.